getting COVID seriously.
Can I ask where Colleen is living?
Windermere, British Columbia.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I love BC. I'm like Cindy. I want to move back there. We used to live in Victoria, and my youngest son lives in Pemberton. And it's beautiful.
That's wonderful there.
Yeah.
So it's an hour and a half west of Banff.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and Siri lives 5 minutes from me, right, Siri?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Alrighty, are we ready to begin? So today's Tuesday, May the 12th, and this is for the Pendulum Workshop and Light Meditation. So I have Gabby here from North Carolina, who is a Healing Touch certified practitioner and massage therapist, and she came all the way to Winnipeg in October 2018 for advanced practice, her and her daughter, which was quite amazing that somebody would want to leave Texas to come to Winnipeg, but it was the course, of course. And we had a lot of fun. It was a pleasure to meet her, and she had this, oh, I got to show you these. These are called Activation Sacred Geometry cards. So while she's doing the meditation, I'll pull one for the group today, but it's a beautiful Sacred Geometry Oracle cards by, the person's name is L-O-N, capital L, capital O, capital N. Is it Lon, Gabby?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if everybody could mute themselves, Gabby's going to lead us in a beautiful meditation before we get into the pendulum work. And does everybody have their pendulum with them? That would be good. All right, I'm going to make you active speaker. I'm going to put myself on mute.
Okay. 2 weeks ago, this meditation came to me during a healing touch call, and because a lot of people have a lot of stress right now, uncertain times, they have problems with sleeping and have short nights, and this meditation helps you to energize and balance your whole being. So I want everybody just to get comfortable and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Move your awareness away from your body. Can you feel the space around your body? Now forget your body. Forget that you have one. You are one with the universe. Think of no body, no thing, no place, no time. Open your focus and allow your conscious mind to get out of the way. Now turn to your heart chakra and see yourself sitting in there. Do you feel the warmth in there? Spirit is giving you a candle. See what color does it have. And Spirit lit your candle. The light fills your heart chakra, and everything which doesn't serve you anymore is leaving it. The light of the candle fills your whole heart chakra. Expand the light into your whole chest area. What do you feel? What do you sense? What colors do you see or feel? Now move down to the solar plexus with your candle. Let it fill the whole chakra with light. Take a bath in the light and expand it into your whole upper abdomen. Now move down to the sacral chakra with your candle. Let it fill the whole chakra with light. And while it fills with light, everything which doesn't serve you anymore is leaving it. Take a bath in the light and expand it in your whole lower abdomen. Now move with your candle down to your root chakra. How does it feel there? Fill the whole chakra with light. Bath in the light. Expand the light into your legs and feet, all the way down into Mother Earth. Do you feel how balanced and energized your legs and feet get? Now move with your candle up to your throat chakra. Sit there in your throat chakra. How does it feel? Are there emotions you don't like? Fill it with the light of the candle and move the light out to your whole throat and neck and shoulders and arms. Move up to the brow chakra. Fill it with light. Fill your whole head with light. What colors do you see? Do you feel the oneness with the universe, with spirit? Are you at peace? Now move to the crown chakra. Sit in there. Fill it with light and then move the light into the auric field through all layers till your whole bodies are lightened up. Take a bath in that light. And now it's time to come back. Feel your body. Feel the space. Take a few breaths to get centered and grounded again. Whenever you are ready, just open your eyes. Welcome back.
Mhm. Thank you. That was beautiful. I love that image of the candle and it being lit, and it's you know, it's a powerful one for healers. And one of my level 4 mentees right now, she's having difficulty writing up her educational resources. And I said, well, why don't you doodle, draw a picture? And her picture was a candle with a flame on it. And she did that. Then she was able to write the education resources because she's very creative and she's an artist. So yeah, that was beautiful. Anybody want to make any comments about the meditation, what you saw or what you felt? You can unmute yourself and share. Is everybody good? Pauline?
Beautifully narrated. Your voice is beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice. Caroline?
Thank you very much. It was lovely. And I saw beautiful colors.
Good.
Yeah, and just play around with it, you know, what comes up for your chakra to see or to say. Each time when I do it, it's a little bit different. So.
So did you channel it?
Yeah, it came to me like a download, you know, when I was in a Healing Touch meeting.
Great.
We were talking about, you know, people are stressed and get less sleep or bad nights. And then that came to me.
So we'll let you know if the sleep works tonight.
Excellent. Alrighty. Okay, so tonight we're to learn about the pendulum. So how many people have their pendulum? Let's see your pendulums up there and clear your energy. Excellent. Beautiful. What a nice variety there. This one I've had for 26 years, and it's from the rainforest, and it was the first one I purchased when I started Healing Touch. And and so I never leaves the room because I've been known to lose some of my pendulums. How many people have more than one pendulum? How many have one in every room, your car? Anna Maria. Good. Donna says yes, she does. Yes, good. Okay, let me see. Here. The got was transition. And so we're all in a transition, and COVID has made it very much so a transitional time. Let me just check the chat box here. Yes, me, lots, yes. Yeah, okay, good. Excellent. Alrighty. There'll be, at one point, I have one more person who's going to join, but she was working. So if I miss seeing it, somebody let me know. Okay. Alrighty. Now that I can share the screen, because I figured this out, let me find the one that I want to start with first. Show all. There. Yeah. All right. This is from Peggy Stevens. So I got a couple testimonials, and she has a tree of pendulums. Oh yeah, Susan has a tree of pendulums. Yeah, instead of getting a tree for your jewelry, it's a tree of pendulums. Yeah, I get that one. So I asked a couple of my students how they use their pendulums, and Peggy Stevens out of Kitchener says, yes, I'll talk about the different pendulums. In 2012, she was reading a children's book, Are You Psychic? And it inspired her to put a ring on a string to see if it would work. And sure enough, it did. So she originally used it just for guidance in her life, but with the continued use, it increased her confidence, and she's now using the pendulum to support people's health and well-being with nutrition, healing touch, and more recently, the emotion code of finding out what emotions are trapped in a person's body and releasing it with the pendulum. So the emotion code works for both humans and animals. And so she was here one day, and she did it for Misha, my golden retriever, who had been sick with anal sac disease, which was then followed by environmental toxins last September. And it was very interesting what emotions she had picked up from just being at different cottages and being around different people. And it just really helped her to release the emotions around her illness, because we had to shave her and her hair, and it was just sad. It was just sad. But she's on lots of supplements now. So she has a probiotic, she has omega-3, she has coconut oil, and she has glucosamine because she has arthritis too. So that's Peggy's. And then I also asked another person, Lynn, and Lynn's testimony was, there's a book called The Pendulum Power. There's lots of books on pendulums. And Lynn found that she uses it to validate energetic changes that she feels that are going on in her body scan. So all of you would be using it for your healing touch treatments and that, but she also found she used it for the land, the environment. She uses it for clearing dense energies, even in her own house. And that she also found that historically it really helped with, what the differences. And we're going to talk about that with dowsing and pendulums and how it all got started. The interesting thing Lynn shared with me was that she has two different pendulums. One is for energy work only, and one to clear, for clearings, to clear energy in their home, clear energy on equipment, to clear energy on things that you buy, like say, well, at a garage sale, but you can't do that right now. But I was talking to Yolande Boulay-Douglas this morning, and she did energy on her TV because Rogers or whoever the came in to change something with her TV, and she immediately felt the energy had shifted, and she felt sick to her stomach, and she felt nauseous, and she realized when she moved away from the TV, she felt fine, and when she came towards it, she didn't. So she used her pendulum to clear the energy and to get rid of those uncomfortable feelings she had, just the change in the energy, whatever they did when they upgraded her TV. She also reminded me to use, you can use your pendulum to clear energy on teddy bears, but she's got a great story about using a pendulum to put energy into teddy bears and then gives those teddy bears to people in need. And so the energetic harmonization technique that many of you have seen, she does that technique, and then she sends the energy from that technique into her teddy bear. So the meditation we did tonight on light meditation by Gabby, the same thing could be once you meditate is send that energy, and she just keeps the pendulum going until the pendulum stops, until the teddy bear is filled up. And what she's noticed with her grandchildren and with her nephews and nieces is that they tend to really prefer the teddy bears that have energy in them. So I know a lot of you have been using it for distance healing. And next week, Colleen and Jean are going to share, the different ways that they use distance healing. And so, bring your teddy bear to next week's class with Colleen and Jean. So those are two examples. And then I asked a third friend, and Anne said to me, well, Cindy, it's just great to get out of my own way and to get my head out of the way because I love thinking. She's a retired school teacher, and I love her dearly, and I call her my AAA personality friend because Anne, for me, when I was teaching, she would take light emerging and do Cole's notes for me, and Barbara Brennan and Cole's notes. Would any of you even think to do Cole's notes on either of those books? But that's what Anne did. So she said it really helps her to get out of her own way. How many other people have done that, to get out of your own way, that you're thinking too much about something and you want to trust the intuition and ask your pendulum? Yeah, excellent. Good. Alrighty, let me bring, so dowsing's been around since 1693 when I did my research. The dowser plays a part, your pendulum plays a part, and so does the person. But what's the most common person you hear is that people say, you made it move. Technically, I guess you could say that, because it's our energy, the pendulum, and the clients. But really it's about keeping that mind of a child and being unattached to what the pendulum's going to show you. And that's probably the hardest thing with anybody in using a pendulum, is being unattached. I remember having somebody in my treatment room a year ago, and she was really attached that she was going to have a grandson. And then when she found out she's having a granddaughter, she said, but that pendulum thing didn't work. And I said, but did you want, you wanted the sex of the child, not being open to whatever it was. And my pendulum had shown the total opposite. And she was like, no, you're wrong. I'm like, whatever. When the baby's born, we'll find out. So, everybody's fallen into that. I've fallen into that when you want something, too much. So sometimes I'll call friends and say, can you just douse on this for me? Anybody else done that? Get somebody else to douse for you?
Yeah.
So, dowsing is yeah, we do, don't we? And that's a great way to do. So I've had Peggy, who I shared her testimony, I've had her douse. Well, I had her help with Misha because I'm too close to it when she was sick. And I've had her douse on some other things when there's been some, serious things going on that I just knew I was too attached to what the outcome that I wanted. So, it's a very old and established, practice. And I remember, going to my grandfather's farm and them dowsing and using sticks, right, to find the water, to find for wells. How many people have seen that or heard that before, where you're using sticks to find the water? Okay, good. So the great thing about the pendulum is, like in Healing Touch, it's been great for the chakras. Tonight I wanted to talk more about helping you with asking questions and for seeing what the resources are out there, because there's a ton of resources that you can tap into, where they have a whole manual that you can get online, which this is the beauty of technology, right? So to give you a little bit more about researchers, two researchers, Dr. V.O.G.T., I don't know how to pronounce it, and Hyman, have pointed the key issue around dowsing. The unconscious muscular reaction results from a suggestion from the subconscious of the diviner. The subconscious mind and the muscular reaction is the key relationship to all dowsing. One of the things I found, so if you're working with people, if somebody's injured their shoulder and they're using the pendulum, it won't work. This will not work if they have what do you call that? Frozen shoulder?
Frozen shoulder?
Yeah, frozen shoulder, yeah. It won't work. So I have them switch hands. What I found, since I've been teaching 20 years, and Anna Marie, you might find this too, is that it's so easy to get people to use a pendulum now, and even for your clients, because 20 years ago, Anna Marie, did you find this? It took 3 hours to get people to use a pendulum?
Yeah, and because they kind of froze up. I mean, their arm would become tight, and they're just holding it so tight that nothing can flow. But getting relaxed, and then they question themselves, I'm not good enough, and all that language that we're getting beyond. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. My first level 1 class, we used lifesavers. Do they still make lifesavers? And put them on ribbons. How sanitary is that now? You wouldn't be doing that in COVID-19 time. That's what we used in our class the first time. But yeah, it's like the shoulders to be relaxed, the arms to be relaxed. Or the other one I'll see is people doing, they hold their arm, I don't know if you can see, their arms stiff like this. So it's relaxed, and 4 inches is better than this. you know, so the more relaxed you are holding it like
Right.
this with the arm bent, it's going to give you a better response. So it works better with the, you know, an open mind, unattached, and just, you know, let the pendulum do the work. So let me start with the screen, the next thing that I wanted to share with you. Where did this all move to? I had this all up earlier. Okay, let me go down here. Oh, here it is. Testimonials. First of all, I want to do this because I know people like to have resources. So you can screenshot that with your phone or, but these are the resources that I found that I've used over the years. Dowsers.org and the letter to Robin.org is, it's like 28 pages of material on how to dowse and how to do advanced dowsing. And I got my first one in 2002, and it's 31 pages. And it's, I'm going to show you later because I can bring that up. I've got it up for the screen. Intuitive dowsing is an individual out of Toronto, Alicia, and she teaches a lot of courses. And then Raymond Grace from the US, he's a cowboy, but he uses dowsing all the time, and he used it a lot to clear the energy in his son's school when there was difficulty there. And he's come up to Canada for a couple workshops back in the early, like 2003, 2004. But one time he came and he couldn't come across with his gun, so he never comes back because he didn't like that he couldn't come with the gun. So, okay, he lives in Virginia. So these resources I will send you to. So I'm going to move to the next one that I have. So he's a character. He's a lot of fun. So talking about Raymond Grace, we're going to share this one. So everybody's got their, is that big enough or do you want me to make that print bigger? Can I, oh, I did do, there, is that better? Okay.
It's good.
Okay. So he has videos on his website, and so this is his saying, I have some good news and some bad news. There's a group of people who are among the most powerful on the earth. The good news is it's you, the dowsers. The bad news is that many of you don't realize it. And that it's practice, keep practicing. And I think this quote that he stated, and this is back in 2002, is pertinent for now, is people have given their souls to the priest and preachers, their health to the doctors, their money to the bankers, their children to the school system. And in so doing, we've lost the power over our own lives. So using the pendulum brings back our power for what's in our highest good. So we're going to talk about, you know, when you're picking your vitamins, what's in your highest good for them, the number you would take, how often, how many days a week, do you take it with food or not? You can use your pendulum for that and really utilize what's best for you, not just what's on the bottle. Once I show you this, we're going to go to his website, and he has like a little 5-minute video on dowsing, which is just, it's just a hoot. So I just thought it'd be fun for you. But there's a couple people on the call tonight that I know have struggled with concussions, and I really like this one because 4 years ago, I had a concussion too. We were out walking the dog, and I slipped on black ice. It had rained the day before, and then it snowed. It was March 4 years ago, and so I use this technique along with healing touch and osteopath to really regain my health and well-being. And when my brain feels overloaded by being on the computer too long, or thinking too much, or working on outside in my garden, which doesn't happen a lot, but that's not, it's more being on the computer and writing that would overload my brain. Or the weather shift. I find this one works really well. So what we're going to do is you're going to hold your brain one side of your head, and we're going to allow your pendulum to spin on a clockwise direction. So it's going to help with, there's 3 different areas. The lack of blood flow to the brain we're going to clear, balance your right and left hemisphere, and brain chemistry balance. So let me get this sheet in front of me so I can take this down for a minute, okay? Stop sharing. All right. So if you can get your pendulum out with one hand, and you can just hold your head, whether it's the top, the bottom, the back, whatever is comfortable, and just ask to increase the blood flow to the brain and the appropriate areas that need it. I'm noticing the language there, and I'm going to change it on your handout, is increase the blood flow to the brain and the appropriate areas that at the end of the day feel kind of exhausted, tired, I've taken in too much information, too many stories, too much thinking, or ruminating. And just feel that energy moving into your brain. Excellent. Okay, now we're holding the brain to ask for the right and left hemisphere to be balanced. The right and the left hemispheres to be balanced. Balancing the left and the right, your thinking and your creative, the yin and the yang. Colleen, just ask it to go clockwise. If it's going horizontal, it's probably just a little imbalanced. Have you ever fallen on your head, Colleen?
Surprise. No, my head's imbalanced.
All right.
Going now.
All right. And the third is the brain chemistry. We'll see if we can get the brain chemistry going, Colleen.
Well, now it's spinning
Go.
really fast. Okay.
Yeah. So your brain chemistry is working, but the right and left hemisphere, do you find that you spend more time on one hemisphere than the other? Like, are you more left brain or right brain in your activities?
No brain these days, but
This will bring a full brain response, just like in a mind clearing. So could you see yourself adding even this, if you're doing mind clearing for yourself or for somebody else, you could imagine, because you're holding with 2 hands while you do mind clearing, is you could be asking for the blood flow to the brain to increase, that the right and the left hemispheres balance. The brain chemistry works in unison.
what are you meaning by brain chemistry?
Like the chemistry of the brain and how it works together, how all the cells work together, the lymphatic system, all the inner workings of the molecular,
Right.
how it all works together. That's in simple terms because I'm not a chemist, but I just trust what he put down here because he's been doing it for 50 years. So I just go, oh, that makes sense. So, but think of your brain has, like, it's 80% water. So it's the balance the pH and the lymphatic system, all of that working together. And then what he suggests is that you sing a song or dance to change your energy, just for fun, just because, once you've balanced it. So it's just shifting the energy. So
My little light.
how about we sing this? Yes, this, yeah, you got it, Pauline. This little light of mine,
I'm gonna make it shine.
This little light of mine,
This little
I'm
mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine,
I'm gonna
I'm
let
gonna
it
let
let
it
it
I'm
shine,
let it shine.
Let it
let it
shine,
shine,
let it
let it
shine, let it
shine.
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 I'll take you on the road, ladies. I'll take you on the road.
I taught that to my grandson this week.
Oh,
It was
did
so
you?
fun. Yeah, it was so fun.
lovely.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, it increases vibration, right? And it's all right. I'm gonna take you to his video now. Now that we got your brain balanced, let me see where I put it. Let me see if I open that. I had it up here. Hang on. There we go. There. All right. If I go control, click. Will it do that?
No.
Should do.
Here we go. There he is. Oh, now I got to share it.
We can't see it.
I know, I see that. All right. How do I? You are screen sharing. Okay, stop share. Okay, and then share screen. Okay, hang on. We'll bring him up. We got a cowboy for you today, ladies. Here you go. All righty. Pauline, you have any dreams about cowboys?
Not really. Without guns, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, look at he's got his gun in his holster. I didn't even realize that.
I have a problem with that, but I guess I have to let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's being who he is, right? And he believes
Victim of
does
his
it for-
culture, right?
it's his culture.
Victim of it, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me bring up this. So what's cool is I probably haven't been on this website in 10 years and he's updated everything. So I'm going to play his video. It's going to give you a basic on dowsing, and then we're going to practice using our pendulums. And then, and Colleen remind me to ask the question too. Colleen's got a wooden pendulum, but you can have any type of pendulum, but we'll talk more about the different types of pendulums too. So here's, yeah.
Howdy, folks. I'm Raymond Grace, president.
Can you hear
founder of
that?
the Raymond Grace Foundation. And I'd like to visit with
Is that
you
volume
a few minutes
okay?
here today to explain some simple tricks to be able to harness the power of your mind. You see, our mind is capable of a lot more than we have ever been told. And I set out on a quest many years ago when I was about 16 years old to find out what I could do with my mind. So I'd like to share just a few of those tricks with you today. I went through learning about mind development, and also I've studied a bit of shamanism, and I found that I could take something called dowsing and combine the two and get better results. Now I use what you would call a pendulum, which is nothing more than a 45 caliber bullet on a chain.
Oh shit.
This is my normal working tool, and that's all it is a tool. First thing I would like you to realize is that it has no magical power. It's simply a bullet on a chain. The magical power is up here within the mind. The purpose of the pendulum is to indicate to you what you already know, but don't really believe you know it. So I will give you a very simple demonstration right here. If I ask a question and the answer is yes, the pendulum will move in this manner right here, to me and away from me. If the answer is no, it will move in this direction, across this way. However, However, yes and no are insufficient questions to ask. I use a dowsing chart, which is available for free at RaymondGraceProjects.com. Feel free to print one out there. And I'm not going to get into explaining the dowsing chart today. I just want to say that you will have far better results whenever you ask a question of what is the result of. Now, that means whether you are trying to decide what to order for lunch or which road to take.
We lost the sound. I lost the sound. Did
Yes.
anybody else?
Me too.
You were to ask, is a soft drink?
Is it back?
You
Yes.
will probably get.
I muted myself, sorry.
If you ask, is kerosene mixed with diesel fuel good for you, you will get a no, but it will not tell you the difference between the two. If you were to ask a question of what is the result of this upon my body, you will get a numerical value, either plus or minus. Now that's really all I need to say on that. But you say, what makes this thing work? I don't really know. I just know it does. And it's a good tool to help you make decisions, to help get information, and also to send good intentions. For example, if you want to send someone peace, love, happiness, your pendulum will go in a clockwise circle. If you wanted to remove something like fear, anger, grief, it will go in a counterclockwise circle. Does it really matter which way the pendulum spins? Probably not, but it probably matters in your own mind. So it goes clockwise when you are increasing or improving a condition. It will go counterclockwise when you are neutralizing or diminishing the situation. So that's just very basic information there. I have a much more lengthy film called Understanding the Dowsing Chart, and it is available at my website, RaymondGrace.us. But I just want to give you a simple little illustration of what dowsing is. My friend Walt Woods, who was one of the better known dowsers of America before he passed over, he said that dowsing is simply mother's intuition with a readout device. This is your readout device, simple bullet on a chain. Okay, practice with these things. Get one, hold it with the tip of the first finger, forefinger and thumb, in that manner like that. Don't really need to take the time to tell you how not to do it. Just do it this way. And then just start practicing. Get used to it. Because any tool, whether it's a hammer, a trowel, or any other tool, you have to get your hands used to using it. Okay, so do the same thing with a pendulum. Get you a pendulum, keep it in your hand quite a bit, get familiar with it, start getting your yes, no, clockwise circle, and counterclockwise circle. Just once you get used to this, then you start asking questions. But when you start asking questions, calm your mind, because you're going to get much better information with a calm mind than when you're stressed out. If you are one of those folks that takes a dowsing class from me, buys a pendulum, puts it in a dresser drawer, and waits until you've got an emergency, and then goes to dig out your pendulum and solve a problem, you've waited quite a bit too late. It's probably not going to work for you. I say things pretty bluntly, like all the cards on the table. Practice this stuff when you need it, then you got it.
He's a hoot. I looked at it this afternoon and it totally blew by me that it was a bullet. I am so sorry. You can use anything. You can use your keys. Oh, coal mine, yes, coal mine.
Of course he has.
So,
Cindy, I see the chart, and you had sent it as a handout. How do you use the chart? Like, why does it have all those degrees and things on it? Like, what are you supposed to do with it?
that's an excellent question, and we're going to get to that once we do the next thing, which is clearing the pendulum. So let me bring up, I'm going to do clearing the pendulum, how to ask questions, and then we'll do the chart, because the chart's about percentages. Is it 10% likely to happen, 20, 30%, okay? All right, so let me bring up clearing your pendulum so everybody can get their pendulum. How did I write this? Clearing the pendulum, there we go. That's my first time using a video, so I've given myself a test to each week learn something new with Zoom. This is from a good friend of mine who took dowsing with me 18 years ago. And so to use your pendulum, so now we want to clear your pendulum before we start asking questions. So you're going to ask it to go left and say to yourself as you're doing this, please collect and absorb all non-beneficial energies attached directly or indirectly to this pendulum, regardless of source. Because maybe somebody else has picked it up, or maybe you put it in a different room. Please collect and absorb all non-beneficial energies attached directly or indirectly to this pendulum, regardless of the source. And when it's done, it'll go vertical. So remember that Janet always said, practice everything 100 times, and that's what dowsing's like. Just like Raymond Grace said, is practice it going clockwise and then counterclockwise. So now let's move. Is everybody ready to move to the next one? Yeah, okay. Let's move to please scramble and minimize all these energies and frequencies and send them to the dimensions or planes where they belong and will be happy. Please scramble and minimize all these energies and frequencies and send them to the dimensions or planes where they belong and will be happy. Okay, and the third one, are we ready to go to the third one? Okay. Please raise my vibrational frequency of my pendulum for my health and well-being to the highest possible level for my good. Please raise my vibrational frequency of my pendulum for my health and well-being to the highest possible level for my good. Excellent. So what I'd like to add with that too is, you know, with the clockwise and counterclockwise, if you're finding that somebody's energy is really stuck at, say, the heart chakra, you can also do it. The counterclockwise will clear the energy at the heart and then have it go clockwise. That's from Marsha Reed taught me that one. Alrighty, any questions about that? Does that make sense to like clear the energy? You want to clear the energy of the pendulum so you get a better reading. So now we're going to look at.
Excuse me, Cindy, when you said you have it go counterclockwise, you just do that with your mind?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I've always wanted to know how to deal with the heart chakra when it does that. I mean, other than clearing in that. So basically you're holding it over and you're telling it to go counterclockwise to clear the chakra. Mm-hmm. And then it either goes naturally or you tell it to go the other way. Would be going naturally.
It'll naturally stop and then go clockwise.
Yeah.
And if it's stuck, I've had this happen like at the end of a treatment. I'm like, what do you mean the heart chakra's not open? You know, that was a beautiful treatment. No, I got to be unattached to the outcome on that one, right? But the person, their mind went somewhere, like a sad thought, right? Or they were grieving or something like that. And so so I said, oh, you know, well, I'm just going to do this counterclockwise to help lift up whatever's heavy that's on your heart. And for that individual, then I also asked to clear it at the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. I went through all 7 layers of the field because they were grieving a lot, and they were just, they'd relaxed, and then as they were trying to come out of the treatment, they went back into that deep sadness. Another thing you can add to that, which Marcia taught me, was if you have difficulty opening up a chakra, is do the chakra below, counterclockwise, and to open it up, and then above. So say it was the heart, so do solar plexus and then the throat, and then come back. Now that would work really well, like especially if somebody has migraines or a headache, that you want to open up, you know, the throat chakra and the crown. Say they have a sinus headache, you would utilize that counterclockwise over the throat to open it up, and then when it's open, then go to the crown, counterclockwise till it's open, and then you could come back to say this was really they had a really bad headache. So yeah, just play with it. And is that helpful? All right.
Confusing. I don't understand.
All right, let me, oops. Okay, so now we're about asking the questions.
Can I ask a question?
Yep, go ahead. Yeah.
So when you do that, clearing the throat chakra with the pendulum, at what point in the treatment are you doing that?
Usually when I'm doing that, Allie, is I finish the treatment and they're still blocked.
Okay,
That would be one. That would be one example. Another would be right at the beginning. Say it's still, and there's just your intuition saying that needs to be cleared before I start.
Okay, thank you.
You know, I usually do a full body connection on the majority of my clients, but there have been some instances, like if it's really stuck there, that I'll go there first to open it up.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you.
Yes, Colleen, I could write this out and give it to you. Thank you, yes. But can you remind me, Colleen? Just text me so I'll remember. Mm-hmm. So asking proper dowsing questions. This will really help you when you're asking questions. So when we're using it for over the body for the chakras, we know that clockwise is open, everything else is compromised. When you're asking a question, is different. So what is your yes? So my yes is forward and back. My no is a clockwise. So take a moment right now to find out what your yes and no is, because we're going to ask it some different questions. So show me a yes. Show me a no. And the rule of thumb is to, every time you go to use your pendulum, is to ask again in case it changes its mind. Because you've never changed your mind on anything, right? Do I want 1 pair of shoes or 2? Show me a yes, show me a no. Now this author that I got these notes from really believes in writing the question down. So if you have a question, he feels that writing the question down will help you to have more clarity and then therefore get a better answer. It's, you know, and if you're in a hurry, then his question is then not to douse, or his statement is, you know, a calm, balanced mind is step number 1. So dowsing is a mental skill. It's, you know, it's to take your time, relax your mind. The second reason for writing your question down is to focus on the question and then you concentrate on that rather than, 4 other questions that you might have, because you start, oh, vitamin C, or what about vitamin D, and what about zinc? And the third reason is your memory can be fallible. I know that for a fact. And writing questions often offers consistency. And about a year ago, it was really helpful for me. I wrote down questions, asked the pendulum, and then came back to it. There was a family situation that came up, and I had about 5 questions that I wrote down. And I went back over like 3 days to just see consistently if I was getting the same answers. And so that was a really helpful process to write it out and then just record what my answers were. So the example we're going to use here, I'm going to see if I can move this up for you. Can I move this? I go here for vitamin C. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. Okay, is that better? All right. So let's take vitamin C as an example. There, that's better. So how many people, so think of a vitamin or a mineral that you're taking right now. So asking a question, does my body need vitamin C? We know that everybody needs vitamin C. So it's not it's a poorly worded question. We want the question to be able to be a yes or a no. So what is the real question? Which brand of vitamin C is best for me? So I personally like Ester C. You might like another brand. So you could be doing this in the store, if you could go in the store, but now you can order online. And one of the learnings from dowsing that I got about vitamins that is not always believe what's on the bottle. On the bottle is usually for a 150-pound person. So if you don't weigh 150 pounds, then number one, the recommended dosage isn't the correct one for you. So if I would ask my body, does it need vitamin C? I would get a big yes. It really likes vitamin C. In what dosage my capsules are 600 milligrams. So do I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So what's 7 times that is, how much is that? 7 times
4,200.
Yeah. Yeah. And so vitamin C is very strong for me because I have plaque psoriasis. It's one of the supplements we have. What I have to balance it with is that you don't want, usually you take vitamin C to bowel tolerance. What I don't like is getting to that point of bowel tolerance. Anybody else with me on that one? Okay, so I'm going to write that down. 200, 7. So I would do that in divided doses. So how many times a day? 1, 2. So twice a day with food is a yes. Is it best taken by itself? No. That's kind of a rhetorical question. I just asked you to take it with food. Is it best to take with other vitamins? Yes. So what I find is I take that at lunch and dinner to help boost my immune system. Does somebody else want to play? What's a vitamin or a mineral that you'd like to know if it's in your highest good to take? Pauline, do you want to share because you're unmuted?
Yeah, I just asked, do I need to take magnesium? I ate a lot of pumpkin seeds. And it said, no, I didn't need to take the magnesium. Do I get enough pumpkin seeds? And it said, yes. So I'll just keep on eating the pumpkin seeds.
Okay. Oh, coenzyme Q10. Okay, great. Thank you. My daughter says to my husband, 7 pumpkin seeds a day. It's good for prostate. You know what? Let's ask who's going to count out 7 pumpkin seeds.
I don't count them. That's a good one.
Are good for.
Do I need?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you need to count them, but ask your pendulum. So coenzyme Q10 is great for, came up on the chat, is great for blood flow, heart to the teeth. If you're having any dental work, coenzyme Q10 and a parasite cleanse are good because there's usually blood when they work on your teeth, even if they're cleaning your teeth. So both of those are really good for that. So coenzyme Q10 will, yes, it'll help with migraines. It also helps with any heart issue, any heart attack, strokes in your history, or high blood pressure. My husband able to lower his blood pressure medication by coenzyme Q10. And there's another product we got, nattokinase, is good for blood flow, increasing blood flow to the heart. Magnesium is another popular one too, is asked, you know, do you need to take it? If I have to take magnesium, that's a yes. At bedtime is often recommended, 1, 2, and that would be 2 capsules at night. So one of the tricks I do is I put magnesium in the bathroom because otherwise I'm not going to remember to take it. So that's another trick to do for yourself. So that's with vitamins and minerals.
Cindy,
All right.
I have a question.
Yep.
I don't see what you do to find out the dosage and like how many or whatever, because when I do it, it just keeps going. Like it doesn't go 1, 2, or 3 or 4 like yours does.
Okay. So what were you asking for?
Well, you said
Was it vitamin C?
it was like I use the ester C, but I use it in packets.
Okay.
So I wanted to know. So
only
like,
have like 60 milligrams.
yeah.
That's
So-
more for like a drink, whereas the you know, most vitamin C's have like 600 milligrams in it. So again, it's practice, Caroline, and the packets. I don't remember exactly what's in them, but it's a minimal amount of vitamin C. So it could keep going. And then that would give you the indication that you might want to switch to capsules or powder versus those packets. So I would go online to a health food store and see different varieties of vitamin C and see what one's best, and you're going to absorb the best for you at your age and for your activity level.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Let me just, you're welcome. Check the chat, make sure I've answered all the questions. Migraine too, yeah. All right, now Colleen had a question about the different types of pendulums. So I have wood, I have crystals. How many you got there, Colleen? Yep.
I have 3. I have a wooden one, and I was taught by a purist, so I usually use that. But then I bought these because they were pretty, and then I was told that when you use a crystal, you got to clean it more, or it's not as good, or whatever. So I just use my wooden one. So I just would like to know more about these.
Well, like Lynn said in her testimonial, was that she uses one for clearing and one she uses with treating with clients. So I will use this one. I use in my treatments all the time. My other ones I have, this one I got from a Healing Touch conference. It's amethyst, and I'll use that for foods, supplements, things like that. And then I have another one in the car I'll be driving and I'll be thinking of questions that I want to ask while I'm driving. I keep one hand on the steering wheel, but you know, when you're driving to Ottawa, it's a 6-hour drive. I get a little bored talking to myself, so I'll start using my pendulum. I'll clear the energy for all my clients that I'm going to see and the students that I'm going to see, and I'll just clear the energy. So, which is another way to use the pendulum, is just to clear the energy between you, any cords between you and your clients. So I will do that before I teach a course, is just to clear it and ask it to clear in counterclockwise direction. Anything that needs to be cleared between myself and my clients, between the building that I'm going to be in, and between, and for the whole group. So when I go to Ottawa, we're in a retirement home, so it's clearing the energy too of being in a retirement home. And it's a beautiful location, but just to clear that energy. So if you're going to visit relatives, when you are allowed to visit relatives, you could clear the energy before you go to visit them with just asking it to go counterclockwise, and then it will stop for that. Okay. All right. So now I want to switch to the, so Colleen, the answer is it's your personal choice, and you can program your pendulum for what you want to use it. And I just found maintaining it for different ones for different things works really well. The other one I use when I'm working with clients is the wind chime. So you can use all different things, right? If you want music with it, okay?
Okay, so
if you go to Alicia's website, the Intuitive Dowser, that one has a ton of, on her website, it has a ton of pendulums and explains all the different ones and how you could use them. So the intuitivedowser.com, I think it is. Yeah, so I'm going to send you that resource. So let me go to the chart now. Here we go. So this can be, you can download this from, well, I sent you the PDF for it. So this is good marketing because he's got his logo in the middle. Don't be frightened by the ropes. It's just the cowboy in him. But what you actually do is you hold your pendulum over the center and just ask it to show me a yes, show me a no, and see what happens. So with this one, like when I'm using this chart, my yes is vertical and my no is horizontal. And then you can ask what percentage of, I got to get a right question here. For the vitamin C, what percentage do I need to, is it beneficial for me? And it goes way over to like 340%. The way you can get more information with this, so this would be like, we could add to this for another workshop, like say in a month, to add to this is, you know, I could come up with more questions for you and just to show you what percentage. But the Letter to Robin book, which is free that you can get online, will explain this totally for you. But it's a great chart. I found it great when I first started. It's just the testing, the yes and the no, and then what percentage. And some of you will like this chart, and some, you know, it's not going to be your thing. But I wanted to show a different variety of tools that would be helpful for you in advancing your dowsing techniques. You know, I remember in level 1 being introduced to dowsing and going, oh, this is really cool. People are really going to think I'm weird now. And now everybody's got a pendulum and they're used to it. And, you know, and from this, then you're going to advance to test using your own body. I asked somebody today, I said, everybody I talked to today, I said, how do you use dowsing? I was having a lot of fun with it. And so my girlfriend Ann said, she goes, I'm going to shamanic journeying on Friday night, Cindy. I got a yes. And I said, did you use your pendulum? She goes, no, I asked my body, and my body said yes, and it got excited, and it was happy. And so the more we use the pendulum, the more we'll feel it in our body, and then you'll notice it with your body. So, you know, when you're using your body, is that, you know, show me a yes is going forward. I'll go this way. Show me a no. You know, is chocolate good for me? No, I know that isn't. Show me a yes is apple's good for me. Yes. You know, and then something that's neutral will be like this. But your body, you could be swaying in the grocery store. I could see all of you swaying in a grocery store asking what foods are best for you, right? I'm not allowed to go grocery shopping as we've divested the chores. My daughter does it, so she's cooking, so I'll let her do that. But use your body too as a dowsing tool, like the yes and the no, and I think that's really beneficial. So I want to show you the website. Let me share this here. The Letter to Robin. I think you're going to love this.
Cindy, how do you use your body?
Yep.
What do you do?
I just ask it a question. I'm
Oh.
standing.
Oh, you're standing. Okay.
You're just standing, and then just you ask your body, show me a yes, and I go on my toes.
Okay.
Go back a bit, and it goes forward. That's a yes. And then
okay.
show me a no. So if I was to use, let me just grab something here so does my body need peppermint oil? No. So if I'm picking an oil to diffuse,
Yeah.
wild orange. Oh, it loves wild orange. Can you smell it? It smells really nice. And does it need lemon? So, sometimes you pick things just because you like it, but wild orange is really nice for focus, and so you can use it for your focus. I can do it if I'm getting confused in the middle of a treatment. I'll ask my body what treatment, and I'll just run through the techniques, and then it'll tell me, if something switched in the treatment, I'll just ask, and my body will go forward. It's another way to use it. Okay, I gotta remember how to do this. Share. I did this once before, so I can do it again, right?
Right.
Right. Okay, let me share this, and then I think I can go. And this comes up. Nope, that's not it. Press escape.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but that's not what I'm looking for. Stop share. Okay, let me just share screen. I had it up here. Okay, it's called Letter to Robin. If you want to pull it up on your own. I have it. Oh, where's the resources? That's where I did. Okay, here's the resources. This is what I did before. Okay, so this is just really cool to me that I could do this. Woohoo, there we go. Can you see that? Not yet. Okay, what did I do to? Okay, let's stop. Is it going to come up? That's the. Let me try it again. Resources. Here we go. Share. And then control. Click. Okay, it's doing on my computer, but not there. Okay, let's move this down. Oh, there it is. I just had to move something. Share. All right, let me go to here. One more time, I can get this. I know I can get it. Okay, here we go. Third time's the charm. Isn't that how it goes? Third time's the charm. I don't want that. I take that down. Did that bring up? Letter to Robin. Resume share. Stop sharing that one. Okay. Okay. Third time's the charm. Let me see if I can do it this time. If not, we'll share. That come up? Woohoo!
Good.
Woohoo! I am not a technology queen, but I am learning. Okay, so this is Letter to Robin. So when you go here, this is what you're going to see. And then they'll have this chart, the yes, the no, and the maybe, which is another important question, or ready to ask a question. Then they have the companion book. It's 31 pages. It's in it's a PDF, so you can download it. It has a whole section on learning to dowse, personal dowsing, advanced personal dowsing, where they get into programming and they look at, where's there, water veins in your property and protecting your house. These are the charts that they have. So they have a whole series of charts. And you can see on this one, they have yes, no, ready to ask a question, and what area that you can fall in. And then this was started, this is really cute story. So Robin was having problems at the very beginning as a beginning dowser with accuracy and repeatability. And so she wrote to all the American Society of Dowsers for their input. And she wrote to 10 different dowsers, and she had the privilege of getting an answer from each of them. And so they recognized there was a need for a booklet. And this Walt Woods that Raymond Grace talked about, he put all of this together. Now, he passed 9 years ago in 2011, but he's fondly remembered by the great many people whose lives he touched. So he was the past president of the American Society. So you never know when you start something, you ask a question, how it can bring something else that's going to help other people. So because one person asked the question, Robin, Walt Woods put this together so that you have this great booklet that's over 30 pages. So it's full of information. It'll really help you with the questions you ask, how to position your questions, and how to use them in many different ways. So, so any questions? Any questions about, what would you like to learn more in another month or so? And I'll get somebody else on board that's done this. Maybe we'll get Raymond Grace on. No, just kidding. Did you enjoy that? Was that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Frankly, I'd like to
Excellent.
talk to Raymond Grace. He looks like a character.
Yeah, you would enjoy him, Jackie, because I bet you would.
Sure I would.
And he doesn't pack a gun, okay? Looks like a professor type.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's been well, that was 2002 that I took a course that he had been in town and somebody had given me his booklet. So he's been around for probably 20 to 30 years at least doing dowsing. He uses it for everything, clear the energy in his son's school when there was issues there. There would be no bullying in that school because he would clear the energy every day on that. You can use your pendulum to clear the energy in your house. Clear the energy before the in-laws come, after the in-laws go. You know, when you buy a car, like just to clear the energy, or if you buy something used to clear the energy. You know, you can use it these times too, as if you come in contact with people and say they're in your car, you give them a ride somewhere, as then to clear the energy afterwards. So let me see, there's a question here. How did Janet come to use dowsing? Oh, Janet was exposed to a lot of different healers, and how she came to use it in Healing Touch is when she taught me my level 2, and I just remember the original manuals had a circle in it. Anna Marie, do you remember that? They had like a circle in the middle like that, and they had the word Healing Touch around it. And she would have us just practice making it go in a circle around that circle 100 times. Like, just keep going, clockwise, counterclockwise, show me vertical, show me horizontal, clockwise, counterclockwise. Practice. Janet was very simple, very humble, very honest. Just keep practicing. Let your mind go. Have the mind of a child. You know, have a mind of a child when you're doing the treatments. Be unattached to the outcome. Just do the work. That's Janet. That is just, the more you practice, the easier it gets. The more you get out of your own way, the easier it gets. You know, and she was pure in that we kept it, we weren't asking questions in it. We were checking the chakras. So, you know, because that's a whole different conversation, and your classes can get really offline when you start, if you let them ask questions during a class. So usually I don't get into that until level 4 or 5, but you know, Anna Marie and I are both noticing people are so much more comfortable with the pendulum, using it easily. It saves you, if you don't have to spend 3 hours teaching people how to sense and feel energy and how to use a pendulum, you could really use it, right? Anna Marie, you want to add anything to that?
I've noticed that they're teaching pendulum use for arms and legs differently than what Janet taught and what Barb Dahl taught me. So sometimes rules change and you got to follow the rules. If you're going to become certified, you got to do what the current book describes. But like knees go like this, and hips go like this, and ankles go like this. And so in normal, that's according to Janet. But now they want you to just to go off the body and just go, is it open, yes or no? So because some people have a little kinesthetic inability to follow that just because they are who they are. And so it's just a different learning. But as you use the pendulum, the more you use it and how you ask questions, that's key, is how you ask the question. Is it a yes or no question, or show me, will you show me what you're doing right now, and is that optimal health?
Yes.
Rather than you have to be this way, when I'm done with you, you have to all be open, or else I didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
So, but practicing is the key, and getting out of the way, just letting it educate you on what is real at the moment, and then being willing not to be attached.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Anna Marie, for being on the call tonight. Thursday night is Mary Case on creating creating your business in changing times, and she's got over 20 questions to ask your business to activate it. We're going to do energy polls. We're going to do how to pull energy with groups. And it's a lot of fun. And next week we've got distance healing and new moon. And the following week I've got Jeanette Ninabar is going to come to talk about crystals. So that's going to be on May 28th. So
Cool.
That's the lineup. And so it's fun, all the different people. In June, things I'm lining up are Marsha's going to come back to do some more sound healing. And Angel's going to teach us how to do our own mandalas. And Anna Marie from Sault Ste. Marie is going to teach, she's going to speak about how she's built her business from zero to a full practice. And how they run it in Sault Ste. Marie. So she runs it with her sister, who's a yoga teacher, and her other sister is an esthetician, how the three of them are working together, but also doing everything online now. So they have yoga, aesthetics, and healing touch all together, and sound healing. It's quite cool what they've done in a small community. So thank you, everybody, and we will see you at the next session that you're able to join.
Thank you,
Cindy.
Cindy.
Thank you.
And it's nice to see everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Cindy.
Cindy, am I coming back on a different room?
Yes, you're
Carmen.
coming back on a different room. So
Okay.
I'll
Oh, Cindy,
Yeah.
before you go, do you hear me?